Do you think that a pastor's job, like I'm not talking about pastors who have maybe like other jobs, I'm talking about a pastor whose job is to pastor a congregation, that their work is more significant in the eyes of God than a hairstylist? A lot of us, whether you want to agree or not, most times when it comes to like when you're thinking about godly things or spiritual things, we assume that God should rate those ones more because they're bringing him souls, they're preaching about him morning, afternoon, night. That is their sole responsibility. Whereas the other jobs are doing things that God not really saying. I mean, if you're sewing, what to concern God and the clothes with the sew, or if you barb hair, what's God's concern with the hair that you're cutting and all that? Like, are you one of those that think these things are different? Please let me know. I think that personally, even though I denied it at first, I think that subconsciously somewhere I had actually thought that, yeah, I mean, God has to rate this other jobs more. But thinking about it, I now have a different view. I've listened to other preachers say that your ministry is where you are. So for the housewife, your ministry is your family. For the tailor, your ministry is your customers. You can actually impact your people positively wherever you are. Even though you're a pastor, your ministry is your church, or your ministry is, preaching. So as others, there are people who do things and they relate to people, and they can win souls in that way. So whatever it is that you're doing is your ministry. That's what another preacher said, and it made a lot of sense, right? Because when you think about it, truly, 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 it's not really about the job, it's about the people. So when God says he loves us, he doesn't say he loves you if you do this particular job. There's no condition. So wherever you are, God loves you irrespective of what you do, and the job that you do is significant as long as you're doing it the way that He wants you to do it, right? So as long as you're doing it honestly, you're doing good work. Yes, I think that now, right now, I don't think anybody's job is insignificant because um, we look down on some kind of jobs. I feel like if you're doing honest work, no matter what you're doing, whether you're a bricklayer, whether you're a tech person, whether you're a fashion designer, whatever it is you're doing honest work. You invite God into what you do. So you're not like trying to trick people, you're not fraudulent, you're not lying and all that. I mean, you're doing you're doing work that is significant. Okay, so whatever it is that people are saying to you, don't let it get to you, because I know that some people feel some kind of way when they talk about the jobs they do, because they feel, or maybe it's not as prestigious as the other ones, or when you're talking about people that are making impact for God, they don't like to talk about their jobs because they feel it's insignificant. No work is insignificant, guys. If you're doing whatever it is, really, as long as it's honest work, I believe that, I mean, God can bless you wherever you are, and through your work, God can bring people to Himself. I mean, last, it's not how much you preach, it's not the words that you say, it's not the actions that you do, it's not what you do, right, that brings people to God. It's actually God that helps these pastors bring people to Him. Last. So it's not because the pastors are so good. So you that you're laying bricks wherever you are. You can speak to somebody and have an impactful conversation with them. You can speak to someone and they become transformed because they met you, right? The fact that you're doing that kind of job does not mean that you are less significant in the eyes of God, okay? So that's something that I think that a lot of us need to know. Some of us haven't really thought about this, and you just rate people's jobs poorly. So it's something to be conscious about. Just because someone is doing a kind of work does not mean that you are better than them. So for people who are doing maybe content creation and are preaching, just because you're preaching on social media doesn't mean that your content creation is more worthy than someone who is doing like random education, or teaching people how to get online jobs and all that. Yes, that's what I think, because I see that I've heard I've heard this kind of comments, right? So it feels like people who are doing God's work on whatever platform, whether it's physically or virtually, feel like they are here while others are here. So every work is important. If these works have different categories, that one is for God to decide, right? But you, as a human being, you really don't know the criteria that that God is using to judge it. So God already knows that nobody will do. See, God knows that we all cannot do the same thing, right? It's all about balance. So there's beauty in variety. Actually, everybody cannot be a pastor. Everybody cannot, because if we're trying to win souls for Christ, let's even say, yes, you want to win souls for Christ. Do you think that the harvest is only in churches? You think it's only people that go to church that want to be saved? In fact, if anything, self, the work is outside the church. So people running their day-to-day lives, those are the places that the message needs to be preached, because the person who walks into church already feels like something is here, right? But there's some people that don't even know that something is here when it comes to God, right? And those kind of people can be on the streets. Those kind of people can come into your salon. Those kind of people can come into your supermarket, right? They can be anywhere. They can attend trainings with you. It can be just random job applications that they have attended with you, or job interviews they've attended to. It could be anywhere, right? So it's not as if people who preach in churches or who come to social media and preach are better than people who do other work. That's just what I'm trying to say. So if you let me even know what you guys think. Do you think, maybe it's just me assuming, do you think that people who preach or social media, or content creators who push out gospel messages or gospel content are better than content creators who just do random content creation? Do you think that there is a balance, or do you think one is higher than one when it comes to, God? I could be wrong. I'm open to learn. So let me know what you think and give me the reasons why you think that. I will wait to the comment section. Thank you guys for listening to me today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye guys.